Hello everyone. Next up we have the Robin guide. This is going to be split into two parts. This one's going to focus on the pre-time skip version of her, and then the next video will focus on her time skip. Robin's a really interesting character. She's a character I played a lot of in the first game, not so much in the second game, but she's a very technical character. She doesn't have as much of a raw damage output as other characters do, but she's a very setup heavy character, and she has a lot of options that allow her to do stuff that no other character in the game can do. So first, let me go over her moveset. First we have her square string. This is pretty solid. You're going to be using this a lot with her. This is going to be her main way to mount her offense. And when you combine that with her dash system, it's extremely powerful. Next we have square, triangle, triangle, triangle. This is her launcher. This is a pretty cool launcher in that at the end, it doesn't knock the enemies away. It actually sets the enemies up for further comboing. So you see the final hit pops them in the air, and you have a lot of follow-up potential off of that. Let me get rid of this guy. Okay. Square, square, triangle, triangle, triangle. This move has the similar finisher to the square, triangle, 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 but what's interesting about this move is the first part of it. You can actually choose to cancel it early or let it go longer. So you see right there, you can let that push the enemies really far away. And then you can cancel it, you can go into the rest of the moves when it gets further out. Or like you saw me do it first, you can cancel it immediately. So that move's really interesting, the beginning of it. You can choose to have a lot of crowd control, a lot of pushback, or you can choose to cancel it early for easier follow-ups. Next up, square, 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 triangle. This is a pretty straightforward area attack. You're going to use that when you just kind of want to get the enemies off of you. Very straightforward. Now her square, 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 triangle is also similar. It has some little variations, but let me show it real quick. Has the same circular hitbox. The difference between this is that it comes out at a delayed time, so you can cancel it and start another chain before it actually starts hitting the enemy. So like, let's say for instance, you want to dash cancel it and then start doing square, 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 triangle or something. You got to do it kind of fast though before they get knocked away. Overall, it has a smaller hitbox than her square, 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 triangle. It's really weird that she has moves that are so similar, but I mean, that's about the most utility it has compared to the square, 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 triangle. So square, 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 triangle is just a fast knockout move, and square, 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 triangle is a slower start. It knocks the enemies out as well, but if you dash cancel it quickly, you can get some follow-ups in the middle of it. Alright, next we're going to talk about her triangle strings. Triangle, triangle, triangle. The first two hits are good juggling tools. Area juggling tools. And then the final hit is like her square, 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 triangle, where it will knock all the enemies away. This move you can just kind of throw out to do some quick damage if you want to throw the whole string out, or if you want to set up into other stuff, then you'll just do triangle, triangle, which will kind of suck the enemies in. The second hit kind of vacuums the enemies in towards the center and then drops them right in front of you. So you can follow up, if you want to do longer combo follow-ups, you can just do triangle, triangle instead of the full thing. Next up we have triangle square. This is a command grab. A really interesting move. It's a fun move, and I'm going to talk about it in setups. Hold on, let me do the full thing. I'm going to talk about this move in setups later. You can do some fun setups with it. When she slams the enemies on the ground, that does have a hitbox. It has like a area hitbox, so you can kind of use it as a crowd control tool, as well as targeting a single target. Each of those hits have an area hitbox. Alright, now triangle, triangle, square. This is a 3-slap attack, which keeps the enemies right in front of you, so you can dash and do a combo follow-ups. That's one of the interesting things about a lot of her attacks, is that instead of knocking enemies away, She actually keeps the enemies very close so that she can continue combo follow-ups. Now her R1. Her R1 is a really cool move. It puts the enemies in instant stun state. Not actual stun state, but it creates you see it creates the little like panic marker over them, which if you do a combo after that, they will be stunned. So that's really cool. It's really cool against bosses because it kind of lets her bypass the whole trying to stun enemies. She can just pretty much go into a combo instantly on a boss by you doing that and then going straight into her combo of choice. It's a really cool R1. Kind of a broken one, but I think it balances her out because of her lower damage output. I think it feels fair for her to have that because she struggles to stun. That's something I'm gonna go into depth with time skip version of Robin. Time skip Robin has a better moveset overall in my opinion, but she really struggles to stun enemies. But this attack helps pre-time skip Robin a lot, her R1. It helps her start combos. Okay, so now her specials. Her specials are very lacking. They're very difficult to use and they're just not that effective, but they do have their use. Special 1. This pushes back in a straight line. It has some crowd control. It's kind of more of a just get away from me move. That's the main reason I use it. It's not the greatest damage tool and you don't really have much follow-up potential after it, but if you can line it up right, you can do some pretty good damage with it and get a lot of enemies. Now Special 2 is a very interesting special. This is a single target move. Command grab. So it will grab basically the nearest enemy to you, and sometimes it doesn't always work out in your favor. It will grab an enemy that's not the one you're wanting, so you have to kind of practice with it and see how the hitbox works. But generally it's gonna scoop not necessarily the enemy that you're facing towards, but the enemy that's kind of closest within a hitbox radius. The move has a sort of, I would say that the move has a sort of circular fanning, I don't know, that's kind of weird, but it's like a circular fanning hitbox. And if you're facing directly at an enemy, but you have another one that's slightly off to the side and closer, it will grab that enemy as opposed to the one that you're directly facing. So you have to kind of you have to practice with that and get used to that. Now let me try to get her special back real quick so that I can show you again. Now her special 2, you saw what it does is it drops the enemy straight on the ground. It looks like they fall flat on the ground and you can't do anything afterwards, but you can actually combo after it. Even though the enemy's laying flat on the ground, they are still in a comboable state. So that's really cool. If you set her special 2 up properly, you can get a nice combo after it. Just trying to fill my special bar up real quick so that I can show that. Okay, so let's find an enemy. Try to find a single enemy. So you see, even though the enemy fell flat on the ground, I was able to pick him up for a combo afterwards. It's really interesting. You probably wouldn't think you could do that, but you can. Okay, so now let's talk about some setups with her. She has a lot of things you can do. You know, there's kind of unlimited potential with her. Actually, before I talk about setups, let me talk about one of the unique things about Robin. When you dash cancel attacks with other characters, it normally cancels the attack. But with Robin, it doesn't cancel the attack. Her attack will keep going even though she's in the middle of the dash animation. So you see, you can be throwing out all sorts of attacks even though she's in the middle of a dash animation. You can cycle through all her strings freely as you choose. Now this gives her not only a very safe gameplay, allowing her to be mobile and offensive, but it gives her a lot of really creative setup potential. Now first, I'm gonna show kind of some setups into a command grab. You could do like square, triangle, dash cancel, and turn around. You know, try to target a specific enemy you want. But what you may not have noticed there, what I did was dash cancel before her second triangle came out so that I could position myself. So that I could have enough time to position myself for like a command grab or something. This is a little tricky stuff that you have to work on to get the setups down. Off of her command grab, after the third slam, you can run forward and try to be where the enemy's gonna be. Let me get, so 1, 2, 3, and then you can run forward and try to combo him. I missed him there, but let me see if I can try to do it on another knee. You gotta get used to that timing. I don't play Robin a whole lot, so I don't have the timing perfect all the time. Let me go over a couple other things real quick. You can do like triangle, triangle, square, square, square. Oh man, I'm really butchering her setups. She's a character that has a higher learning curve. You definitely have to practice her a little bit. As you can see, I didn't really practice her a lot before I did this. You see, you can pop them up, go for the command grab. Just try to run forward and catch them. You can do the 1, 2, 3, 4 dash cancel, and then like square, triangle, triangle to catch them with that delayed knockout move. Now, one thing that you have to know when you're dash canceling her moves, when you dash cancel her square strings, the attacks will follow her. You see, they appear where I'm at. Now, if you dash cancel her triangle strings, they will stay where you start. So you see, the move will stay back there, even though I'm moving forward. So you see, it will stay in that area. It won't track with her. So you see how that works. The hands will stay where I start the attack. So, you know, you can kind of run in and then be dashing out while letting the attack finish. Let me try to find some enemies. Okay. So an example of that is with the triangle, the command grab. You can be kind of running ahead while the attack's still going on behind you. And that's pretty much the gist of it. She has a lot of attacks that are very similar, and her setups, as you can see, they take a little bit of practice to kind of get down, especially when you're trying to mix it in between dashes. You know, she's one of the characters with a higher learning curve, but I think it really pays off. Once you take the time to learn all the spacing and the timing with her, you can do a lot of really cool stuff with her. Alright, oh, let me show off her taunt real quick. Her taunt, she'll put her hair into the ponytail and put her glasses on. And then you taunt again to take her hair back down. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Sorry that the setups were a little sloppy, but I think you maybe get the idea that Robin's a character that takes a little more time to understand. But she has a lot of setup potential, and hopefully you could kind of understand that I was trying to show that. So next up, I'm going to have a time skip Robin after this. See you guys later.